Ready? I'd like to call this meeting to order. Struthers City Council dated Wednesday, May 8, 2024, 7 p.m. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Ballard?
Here.
Mr. Bayes?
Here.
Mr. Beagley?
Here.
Mr. Burnside?
Here.
Mr. Carselli?
Here.
Mrs. Goman?
Here.
Ms. Pinkley? Here. President Kaplan?
Here, please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. As always, I'm looking for a motion to dispense with the reading of the regular minutes of the second regular meeting dated Wednesday, April 24, 2024, and accepted as prepared by the clerk.
So
Ron makes
moved.
a motion.
Second.
Della seconds that.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bayes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Goman?
Yes.
Ms. Pinkley? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Communications, we have 3 pieces.
Yes. Number 1, communication received on April 30th, 2024 from Robert F. Benson regarding Nebo Field lease terminated with Struthers Little Wildcats effective April 10th, 2024. And number 2, Struthers Tax Office monthly reports for tax collections for the month of April 2024, submitted by Ryan Wagowski, Struthers Tax Commissioner. And number 3, Mayor's report dated Wednesday, May 8th, 2024, submitted by Mayor Catherine Chacon Miller.
Okay, Council, here to reading the communications, either a motion to receive and file. Dallas makes a motion.
Second.
Lori seconds that.
Yes. Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bayes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Goman?
Yes.
Ms. Pinkley? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mayor's report. Mayor, you read your report and process. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Thank you.
Questions or comments for our mayor? Not. Report of standing committees.
Finance and Legislation Committee meeting to be held May 8th at 6 o'clock.
And then I'm calling a general improvements meeting to follow finance and legislation on May
No, I'm sorry,
May
May 15th.
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 Any other committees?
What time is the general improvement?
8th.
Right after.
Yeah, right now. She don't need legislation, so she'll go right after. Any other committees? Okay, legislation, we have 22 pieces. Is there anyone wishing to address council on legislation only at this time? You're welcome to do so. Come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Okay, like I said in caucus, numbers 1 through 3 will go individually. Number 4 through 15 are full-time employee ordinances. We're going to clump them together. And number 16 to 22 are part-time, so we'll put them in one category. Questions or comments on our legislation? Not, we'll go to number 1.
Number 1, an ordinance amending the City of Struthers Codified Chapter 149 entitled Employment Provisions, Section 149.19, New Hire Provisions, which is entitled Part 1, Administration Code, and repealing any section of any ordinance inconsistent and declaring emergency.
Okay, council, here to reading the ordinance. Need a motion to suspend the rules of council, place the ordinance for passage. Bob makes a motion. Megan seconds that.
Yes. Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bayes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Goman?
Yes.
Ms. Pinkley?
Yes.
Questions or comments under suspension? Need a motion to pass as read.
Motion passes.
Second.
Yes. Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bayes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Goman?
Yes.
Ms. Pinkley?
Yes.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and safety service director to enter into a contract with the Mahoning County General Health District for public health services and combining the Struthers City Health Department to the Mahoning County General Health District, repealing ordinance number 24-028 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring an emergency.
Okay, council, you heard the reading of the ordinance. Need a motion to suspend the rules of council, place the ordinance for passage. Dallas makes the motion. Ricky seconds that.
Second.
Mr. Bellick?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Cursili?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman?
yes,
Ms. Pink?
Yes.
Questions or comments under suspension? None, I need a motion to pass as read.
Pass is read.
Second.
Mr. Bellick?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Cursili?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman?
yes,
Ms. Pink?
Yes.
Number,
Number three,
sorry, number 3, an ordinance as recommended by the zoning board granting a use variance to the location of a lot being built for Amy and Frank Pennell. The property is lot number 600 Spring Street, Struthers, Ohio. The use variance involves the construction of a prefabricated building for the sole use of storing antique vehicles and declaring an emergency.
okay, council, you're reading the ordinance. Need a motion to suspend rules of council, place on its passage. Bob makes the
Motion to
motion.
suspend.
Megan seconds that.
Yes. Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Cursili?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman?
yes,
Ms. Pink?
Yes.
Questions, comments under suspension? None, I need a motion to pass as read.
Pass is read.
Second.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Cursili?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman?
yes,
Ms. Pink?
Yes.
Okay. So Megan, I'm gonna ask you to read the caption of the ordinances 4 through 15.
All right, let me take this real quick. Okay, number 4, an ordinance establishing the position and salaries of all elected officials retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employees, repealing ordinance number 22-016 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 5, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of department heads, a non-classified service appointed by the mayor retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employee, excluding the superintendent wastewater plant. Repealing ordinance number 24-007 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 6, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of superintendent wastewater plant department head, a non-classified service appointed by the mayor retroactive to January 1st, 2024, repealing any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 7, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of street department, a civil service position appointed by the mayor retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employee, excluding the working foreman, repealing ordinance number 23-025 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 8, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of code enforcement director, a non-classified service appointed by the mayor retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employee, repealing ordinance number 22-024 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 9, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of the mayor's executive assistant, a non-classified service appointed by the mayor retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employee, repealing ordinance number 22-019 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 10, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provision of deputy auditor, a non-classified service appointed by the auditor retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employee, repealing ordinance number 22-021 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 11, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment of clerk of council, a non-classified service appointed by Struthers City Council, retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employee, repealing ordinance number 23-040 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 12, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of secretary to the law director, a non-classified service appointed by the law director, retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employee, repealing ordinance number 22-022 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 13, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of police chief secretary, a non-classified service appointed by the mayor retroactive to January 1st, 2024 for said employee, repealing ordinance number 22-023 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of full-time park caretaker laborer, a non-classified service appointed by the mayor, retroactive to January 1st, 2024, for said employee, repealing ordinance number 22-025 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith and declaring emergency. Number 15, an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions of building maintenance person, a non-classified service appointed by the mayor, retroactive to January 1st, 2024, for said employee, repealing ordinance number 22-026 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith. There you go.
Need oxygen?
Yes,
Okay. I need a motion to suspend the rules of council and place ordinances number 4 through 15 up for passage.
Make a motion.
Second?
Megan, Dell seconds that.
Yes. Mr. Ballack?
Yes.
Mr. Bayes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms. Paley?
Yes.
Questions, comments on the suspension?
Could you repeat those?
Need a motion to pass them as read.
Pass is read.
Second?
Yes. Mr. Ballack?
Yes.
Mr. Bayes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms. Paley?
Yes.
What was
All right, Megan, 16 to 22.
All right. Number 16, an ordinance creating the position of a non-classified part-time dispatcher observer trainee, setting hours and wages for said positions, repealing ordinance number 23-030, and any ordinance inconsistent therewith, and declaring emergency. Number 17, an ordinance creating the position of non-classified part-time police officers, setting hours and wages for said positions, repealing ordinance number 22-027, and any ordinance inconsistent herewith, and declaring emergency. Number 18, an ordinance creating the position of a non-classified part-time deputy tax commissioner clerk and a non-classified part-time tax clerk, setting hours and wages for said positions, repealing ordinance number 22-032, and any ordinance inconsistent herewith, and declaring emergency. Number 19, an ordinance creating a position of a non-classified part-time drivers for the elderly van, setting hours and wages for said positions, repealing ordinance number 22-033, and any ordinance inconsistent herewith, and declaring emergency. Number 20, an ordinance creating and establishing an hourly rate for part-time paid firemen and setting the amount to be paid to part-time paid firemen for attendance at training meetings, repealing ordinance number 23-029 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith, and declaring emergency. Number 21, an ordinance creating the position of a non-classified part-time park laborers and non-classified part-time seasonal laborers, setting hours and wages for said positions, repealing ordinance number 23-028 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith, and declaring emergency. 22, an ordinance creating the position of a non-classified seasonal part-time street laborers, setting hours and wages for said position, repealing ordinance number 23-27 and any ordinance inconsistent herewith, and declaring emergency.
Okay, council, you heard the reading of ordinance number 16 to 22. I need a motion to suspend the rules of council and place ordinances number 16 to 22 up for passage. Gals makes a motion.
Rules of council?
Ricky seconds that.
Second.
Yes. Mr. Ballack?
Yes.
Mr. Bayes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Questions or comments under suspension? If none, I need a motion to pass as read.
Motion to pass is read.
Second.
Yes. Mr. Ballack?
Yes.
Mr. Bayes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Gomes?
Yes.
Ms.
Okay, thank you, council. Thank you, Megan.
Uh-huh.
Unfinished business. New business? Report of our law director. John, you have anything for council tonight?
What I will bring up is just to put it on your guys' radar. We have jury trials coming up in June. There's going to be a jury trial going on the 3rd and a jury trial going on the 10th. the defendant supposedly doesn't speak English, so he requires an interpreter, which is going to delay the trial. I only think it's gonna last at most 2 days. The defense attorney is telling the judge that he thinks it might go 3 days, which would potentially could lead into or affect your meeting on Wednesday. So I just wanted to put it on everybody's radar.
June,
So if it goes
July, and August.
and you start the meeting later, how's that?
Well, what I don't know is where we might be at on that Wednesday. I mean, if the jury is deliberating, I don't really know if the judge is going to, I don't know what time, how the judge is gonna do it. I don't know if he'll keep them here for much after normal business hours. I don't know. So it may not be a problem because of the time of your
Right.
meeting, but if the jury says we want to keep deliberating, I mean, we might keep them here. But again, I only think it's going to be at most 2 days.
But if it goes past our 7 o'clock starting time,
Well, yeah, I don't know at that point in time.
okay,
We'll have to talk about it and figure out
right.
what we might do.
When you find out something, you keep me informed.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Questions or comments for our law director? None. Our auditor is absent, our safety director is absent. Mayor, do you have anything to add on behalf of our safety director?
No, thank you.
Okay, at this time, anyone wishing to address council, you're welcome to do so. You can come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Second? Third time? No one? Okay. Just a reminder, finance is May 15th, 6 o'clock, and then following that is general improvement right after that. And I was just informed a little bit ago, on June 26th, a little heads up, at 5:30, the commissioners will have their regular commissioner meeting here, June 26th, 5:30. So make yourself available if you wish to question the commissioners and be participating in that meeting. Nothing else? Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Second.
Bonnie seconds that.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Baez?
Yes.
Mr. Beasley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Porcelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Goman?
Yes.
Ms. Pinkley?
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.